Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. As you can tell, we have planted some papyrus well around our roller coaster district. Our terraforming efforts have been going well. I've also just completed an audit of the redstone-based objectives that we need to achieve this episode in order to get this thing fully operational. We've got 6 trap junctures we need to activate, which I've gone through and numbered. We've got progress-based ticket dispensers that are basically... Progress-based ticket dispensers are going to be the dispensers that give you tickets as soon as you roll over them. I like this one because it opens that trapdoor. We've also got some note blocks here we need to fix on that. Then the third sign, which you can no longer read, but you know what? I know what it says. It says sound-based ticket dispensers. Those are the ticket dispensers that are based not only on progress, but trigger depending on how far you reached in the book of sounds you need to make. So, let's see. We've got sound-based ticket dispenser number 1 right here, clearly labeled. There's our roller coaster cart going off in the distance here. I've rigged the coaster so that even if somebody gets out of the cart, it should theoretically continue all the way to the starting point. Look at that. Initially, there were some issues with inertia because the cart's inertia is different with or without matter inside of it. Your body, made primarily of matter, with the exception, of course, of your soul and intellect, which is mostly electrical and ectoplasmic, is an issue there. So anyway, that coaster should just go ahead and shoot that cart. Oh, whoops, it already did. It's right back there. That's fine. Core concept, we've made some progress. However, we have a lot to do. In order to populate all those dispensers, we need to gather a ton of papyrus. How many papyruses may we track? Oh wait, no, that's the track. This is the papyrus we collect. Oh wait, they don't call it papyrus anymore, they call it sugarcane. And they might have only called it reeds in the past. They might have never called it papyrus. Minecraft history, it's ever a mystery. But you didn't list me the credentials you expected, so I guess my art can't be perfected. I guess I will interject it with improvisational rhymes. I was planning to start talking about the subject matter, but I lost track of time. What was the subject of this episode, Joe? Oh, you didn't know? It's procrastination. But I haven't gotten to it yet, because I'm collecting reeds or sugarcane or papyrus or whatever it says. Oh yeah, anyway, we were going to talk about procrastination this episode, so we might as well get on that at some point. I wanted to say, one of the interesting things about this coaster project is because it is so complicated. We've got so many different moving parts, literally and figuratively, that it's easy for me to say, you know, I'll come back to the redstone, I'll come back to the ticket creation, I'll come back to this or that, you know, at a closer time or date, and I'm starting to worry about the night. Let's find a bed. Anyway, it is notable, I think. I think I'm a fairly busy person, and there are different types of procrastination. But in this episode, we're going to address the procrastination of busy people. Because, honestly, if you are not a busy person, I don't have much advice for you. You probably are already doing a lot of things right that I'm doing wrong. For me, I'm always juggling a whole bunch of stuff all at once. And what I realized is that I don't take productive breaks. And you might say, Joe, what's the difference between a productive break and a non-productive break? Okay, well, for example, do you like canoeing? I like canoeing. Do you know how often I get in a canoe? Once a year at most. And a lot of that is that I'm always so busy, I always go, well, I don't have time to plan a canoeing trip. I'll do it later, whatever. And then, when I work really hard, I eventually get burnt out, and then I'm so tired that I can't work, and I'm just like, well, I can tell I'm going to make mistakes if I keep trying to work, so I'll just sit here and play video games. I'll just sit here and watch TV or something, and, you know, I won't even read, Because reading is the sort of productive relaxation that my body just can't be prepared to plan for because I'm so busy focusing on work all the time. What I need to do is I need to force myself in advance to schedule breaks, to do things that are harder to do improvisationally. I don't own a canoe, so if I want to go canoeing, I need to, plan to go to somewhere with water that also has available canoes, Whereas if I just want to look at my phone and revisit the same website 15 times to see if they've changed anything, I can do that from literally anywhere. I don't need to plan ahead for that. But you know what? I think going outside and being part of nature and experiencing things that I can't experience sitting on my couch is a better, more relaxing break for me. And I've been trying to think of ways that I could categorize... I don't want to replant these, actually. We're trying to clean these up. I've been trying to think of ways that I could categorize different types of breaks to avoid postponing them. Because there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with different budgets. And, for example, if I needed to rent a canoe, that's probably too expensive to do that, every day. Or, goodness forbid, several times a day. But, I could afford to rent a canoe once a month. But I didn't plan that this month. Should I plan that for next month? Should I plan that for the month after? Should I get that on my calendar through the end of the year? One canoe and trip a month. And how do I do that? I think I could probably do that if I just planned ahead. And it doesn't have to be canoeing. I know some of you guys are like, but Joe, I'm terrified of boats that lack engines. The concept of propelling myself by sinking an oar to the port or starboard side of a ship or small watercraft and then moving that oar forward or backwards, that's just too anxiety-inducing for me. Well, you know what? It doesn't have to be that complicated. It could be something else. It could be anything else, as long as it is something that is enriching to you personally. And so, as I look at how long it has taken me to move forward with the redstone portion of this and the dispenser portion of this, which might seem like I'm procrastinating now, but we actually need all this sugarcane to make the tickets for the dispensers. So we are actively working on the project. It's one of those things where, I'm just realizing, what could I do at different periods in my month or in my year? I should probably have one real vacation planned every year. Haven't been great about that. I end up doing a lot of trips that are fun, where, I go hang out with the other hermits at conventions and stuff. But those are kind of work trips, And even when I take my daughter to some of these conventions, which is a great excuse for me to be like, hey guys, I'm here to have fun, not to work. It's still not the same as going somewhere that's completely kind of task-related, So, what does it take for me to get to the point where I can justify telling myself it's okay to take a break every year, and other than to just see your family at Thanksgiving and Christmas? It's okay to say you're going to rent a cabin and go enjoy being in the woods with your immediate family, rather than whatever. Rather than stressing about streaming every single day or every single weekend. And I've been trying to be better about forcing myself to decompress, because last thing I want is for my continuous stress levels to make my artwork worse, because what I'm trying to do here should be an act of joy that I share with you, And when I go to my day job, I want to do a good job there. When I spend time with my family, I want to, be present in the moment, When I go on walks with my daughters, I don't want to be stressing about, what is going on around the rest of the world. I want to just focus on what she's pointing out to me, what clouds or flowers or trees or animals, And a lot of that is just about proactively identifying what are the demands on your time and what are the things you want to do. Because I will probably end up taking the same amount of breaks no matter what, But those breaks will be far more refreshing if I plan them in advance. It's way better for me to say in advance, hey, a month from now I'm going to go canoeing for a whole day and I'm going to enjoy it. Rather than like working for 30 days straight on my day job and on this YouTube stuff and then just getting to the point where I'm like, I've worked too hard for 30 days straight. I'm just going to spend the whole day lounging around the house accomplishing nothing. It's like, why lounge around the house? I spent enough time in the house. You know, I don't need that. Nobody does. I want to be someone who does the things they want to do. Not like in a selfish way, but, you know, one of the whole points of me working so hard to pay off all my student loans and things like that was so that I could pursue the recreational activities I wanted to. For a long time, I felt like because of my educational debt, it wasn't ethical for me to take time off like that. Or if I did, I had to always extremely limit what my options were, you know. Renting a canoe might be out, but like walking around the lake would still be okay. You know, and at different points in your lives, different people have different options for themselves. But anyway, that's just some stuff that I was thinking about. I need to go ahead and get set up to start doing some of the redstone for this episode now that we've cleaned up all those reeds. No more terrible reeds around here. One thing I've also been collecting is I gathered a bunch of wheat in hopes that we could create some hay bales because, in particular, I've heard that hay bales make a hay bell sound underneath note blocks. Let's try that. Okay. Well, that sounded more like a banjo. We're going to keep the banjo. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty close to the notes of Who's the Guy Who Can Conquer Death. Well, the first three. Huh. I could probably do something with that. Yeah. We'll do something with that. Anyway. Time skip. Time's arrow marches ever onward, but I don't have any arrows. I'm perfect. Perfectly correct, I suppose. But I do have quite a few bows. You might say, Joe, what are you going to do with all those bows? All those bows there, Mr. Joe's.
A little bird told me someone is in need of cherry supplies. Is this true, Joe?
It may be. I indeed do need some dispensers. You know, and I've got a ton of redstone that I've been trying to sell you. Do you need raw materials that I could trade you for finished goods?
Don't tell anybody, but I'm poor and don't have any redstone. I can't stock my shop anymore, Joe. It's terrible.
Well, redstone is precisely the hue and manner of material that is the rawest, of which I have the most. Here, come this way. I have plenty.
Oh.
I've been kind of just securing a huge cache of redstone this entire season in hopes that I might someday use it for an elaborate construction build like this one. But I actually have more than I need. Let's see. Here are several stacks of blocks of redstone, as well as all this redstone ore. Do you want to just take all the redstone ore and 2 of the stacks of blocks?
I will, and I have a payment for this. Will you follow me?
I will certainly follow you.
Let's take flight.
Oh, that's it. Okay, I'll do my best. Also, I gotta say, your cap is especially fine today.
Well, thank you.
Really
as you can see, I'm currently in happy eye mode right now because we're making good transactions and things like that. So over here in the mini shopping district, there is a store here for you, Joe. And there's also, I know you're in need of them, dispensers. Here.
Dispensers? Ooh.
Joe, because of your generosity, you can take 4 stacks.
4 stacks. That actually probably should be enough to finish out this project. So, you have just saved me quite a bit of time down in the mine.
Yeah, I saw all those bows, and Joe, believe me, dispensers are not fun to make. I can't make another hermit go through that process again. Sorry, got emotional there.
You know, I understand, Score. It is only through travail and turmoil we ourselves experience that we can truly plumb the depths of compassion necessary to just overflow with kindness toward others. And you have indeed overflowed with kindness toward me today, so thank you so much.
You know what dispensers do to me, Joe?
What do they do?
They turn me into angry eyes.
Goodness gracious alive. Those are some terrifying eyebrows. You know?
Man, Area 77 does this to you, man. There's scary things there. I can't talk about it.
You know, I know I'm not allowed to talk to you about it or watch your videos, which has been hard for me. People keep saying, Joe, what do you think about Scar and Doc's videos lately? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not allowed to watch. It's all top secret. But, you know, if you ever need a contractor to do some digging or some building or anything like that over there, you just let me know, because I have literally no money, and it would be kind of helpful to have some at some point.
You know, I might be putting out tryouts for a guard position because, I mean, I'm head of security, kind of self-appointed, and then I kind of just didn't really want to do it anymore. Now people are breaking in. I heard Cub like set up some kind of camp in the forest. It's been bad, so I might need a guard, Joe. But you enjoy those dispensers, Joe. You enjoy those.
Oh, I will enjoy every single one of them, and I think that the hermits who ride my roller toaster will enjoy them as well. The ones who don't end up engulfed in lava. But yeah, I would be happy to be interviewed formally at you and Doc's convenience for this guard position. I actually, when I was doing ROTC for college, I had to learn all about guard and military installations in real life. I had to memorize the general orders for sentries, all sorts of fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any of that. That's probably why I'm not very good at base security. So anyway, Joe, back to failing at my job. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Many successes from your failures. Bye. Okay, so we need to get down to level 57, which is, of course, 20 below the secret level, of which we cannot speak on account of some upcoming plans of mice and mans. Or Scottish clans? So this is, now I'm at 56. Too far. Right out. So now we need to go to negative 265. Which is here. So we'll just drop that there. Drop another lantern. This is an optimal lighting scenario. For all you guys who love optimal lighting. You know, you think the tunnels under Disney World aren't well lit? They have to be, you know? These are the best laid. Oh, no. These are not... What? These are not the good plans. These are not the good plans. These are the bad plans. The bad plans. Oh, what happened? How did my blocks get swapped into my hotbar there? Oh, bad news, sports fans. I just died in a cave deep below, down below. We will go. We must go. I must know how to go there quickly. We need to use some lava buckets to illuminate the cave without filling our bodies with burning. We need to get the things out of the cave. You might say, Joe, how do you fall into a cave on Hermitcraft? It's the most magical place on Earth. And normally, my magical defense system is, like, really good. It's backed by a Concorp Elytra retrieval guarantee. But this happened. Okay, so I see my experience there. So that means if I can see the experience there, if we come this way, we might be able to drop the lava. No, that's going to dump us in the water. We need to dump some lava so we can light that area up without burning all of our valuable things. Because things... Is this... I don't think that this is connected. Somehow this wasn't as good a plan as I thought. How does this ceiling not... This is like the most... Is the... What? I ended up in a wall? I have no... Ooh. Don't want to lose this second pick. Okay, so there are a million mobs down there. And we're going to deal with some of them that way. Then we're going to figure out this... it looks like there might be a water option to fall onto down here somewhere. We're going to figure that out next. Now you might say, Joe, shouldn't you have thought all of this through better? Significantly better, because it looks like that lava is going to get all over your stuff. Yeah, that is a great point, gentle viewer. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin mining downward very quickly. We're going to throw another lava bolt over here, away from the stuff. There, we're going to let some of these monsters blow each other up, attack each other in general. Why do I have hostile mob sounds off? That is not help. That's music. Okay. on the plus side, the lava did not drip down to where all that stuff is. On the downside, the only weapons I have right now are lava, iron nuggets, cobblestone, and andesite. So, you might say, Joe, well, isn't that exactly why you brought the bow and the arrow? The arrow. Luckily for me, I've seen the arrow of my ways, and it is actually right in that guy's hand. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to grab this cobblestone, hop down here, grab all this stuff, then we are going to go pillar up, like so, up like so, up like so, over and under. There are many ways to pillar. There's in. And now, with one heart, we will, you know, I don't know, let's eat a golden carrot. Make sure we don't have a lava bucket in our offhand, because that would be unprofessional, as the kids might say. We're going to take this torch here. Going to just gently light that, in case it's your birthday. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños, gentle viewer. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, we have our axe. We have... Do we get the elytra? Oh, no, we don't have the elytra. Okay, so we need to actually dump some of the garbage stuff out of our inventory so we can go retrieve the elytra. So, goodbye dirt, goodbye that, goodbye this, goodbye diorite, goodbye andesite, and hello, second carrot, gentle friend. It's good to eat with you again, though the optics are amazing. Where's my elytra that I'm craving? Oh, it's over there, and I guess I need to make more room. It's pretty clear you have a bunch of stuff on the ground. I know it will despawn so soon. I'd better hurry, yes it's true. Of course my boots ain't made for walking. Or there is no shield for simple blocking. Where's that elytra? Why didn't I put my sword in slot 1? Why? Oh no, I'm gonna die. I thought that I had more armor. Now we're next to the lava. Well, all the stuff we picked up on the plus side, we have a second elytra here we can fall back on if we absolutely need to. You might say, Joe, why don't we have a bucket of water to make descending easier? Great question, gentle viewer. Great question. Loving all of the feedback. You guys are so helpful. So helpful. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this single piece of armor on. Wait, didn't I have an iron block? What am I going to do with all those blocks? All those blocks that I've got stocked? I'm going to craft those blocks. Craft those blocks into armor bottoms because I've already got a top. Dang it. Rhymes, why are you evading me? I needed you now more than ever. But also, seriously, where's all my iron? If you ever thought that you were fraught with peril, you must ask yourself, am I a cavern or a tunnel? Why didn't I bring torches? Oh my goodness, that was a mistake. What am I getting shot from? And why is it so unnecessary? I mean, I know why it's unnecessary. It's because my body doesn't need it, technically speaking. So, there's 90% of it right there. Boom. We got the helmet back. We got one pick. We got the good pick. We got 2 picks. We got a shovel. We got the axe. I think we maybe just... This is the best we're going to do. We have the other elytra. Now all we got to do is get back out of here. And, you know, that's a simple thing. You know, all we got to do is look at our coordinates. 25. I bet you, if I dug down to 11, there's a million mining tunnels over here. I'll never be able to figure out which one will get me out. But, like, that's like just 9 Y levels away. So what I'll ask myself is, why? And then I'll ask myself, where? And then, you know, how should just naturally follow, I figure. So, 15, yeah, I mean, this is a plan for a man with simple goals. All I want to do is get back out of here alive. And, sometimes, like the submariner, we have to dive before we soar. Actually, if you are a submarine and you are soaring, there might be something wrong. Okay, immediate intersection of mine and tunnel, precisely as predicted. Okay, look at that. Now this is happening, you guys. This is happening in a totally safe and controlled way. I'd be willing to bet that I'm the one that put this tunnel in because the lighting is really inconsistent and the digging is quite slipshod. Okay, so the fact that I made this tunnel and that one, that's not lit well. So, okay, based on what I know, I'm looking for a tunnel that goes this way. There we are. That's the sort of tunnel somebody else would dig that would intersect mine. So, if we go this way now... Okay, I think this leads out to a big area. Yeah. Great. I don't have blocks to fill that. If I die right now, because I forgot to put blocks in my hotbar to fill that in. Okay, I think I know where we are, guys. So we came down there just now. We're going to go down this tunnel. Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. Oh, what is this? Is this the storage room below my amazing little poetry shack? Yes, it is. So I'm not stealing those trousers. I'm taking them back. There we are. Properly troused and ready to go. There's a ladder right down here. Guys, I didn't make any wrong turns that entire time. You could argue that when I busted that hole in those two cobble, that I took a wrong turn, but I was actually verifying that I knew where I was, because I was like, that double cobble hole looks familiar, and I confirmed it was the ravine which my mental map perceived. Up we go with Joe. Yeah, my shirt is green. Excellent eye. Whoa! Well, I don't know what I expected. Well, we are back underground because I've found that the zombies abound, and man, they will pound you into the lava. Is my elytra recoverable? No, additional lava. That is not the plan. Not the plan. Did we get the elytra? We did not get the elytra back. We did recover a lot of buckets, which is nice. I was really hoping the elytra would have been thrown clear of the burning. The elytra was not thrown clear of the burning. Okay. Well, we've been grabbing all these buckets of lava so we can finish the wonderful lava lakes that make up the death traps. I've gotten all the redstone wired, and boy, are my arms tired. Although that's traditionally a transit joke. You know, technically, we are propagating redstone signals and transmitting them. Transit, we're off by a letter. You know, compared to being off by a bunch of lava that burns your elytra, that's not too bad. So, I guess it's time for us to go open this thing up so that we can start charging diamonds, because I've just lost everything. And people are going to say, Joe, why don't you purchase a Did You Die box? And the answer is currently I have 0 diamonds. So maybe this should affect my pricing on the coaster. I don't know. Let's run over there and I'll show you guys what I've gotten done. Time skip. You know, I talked a little bit about procrastination earlier this episode because I wanted to entitle this episode Unscheduled Recreational Crisis. You know, if you procrastinate when you're trying to plan your breaks, you don't get an enjoyable break, especially when you have kids. You end up with a kid that doesn't have a snack or doesn't have a water bottle or something like that. And what should have been a nice, pleasant afternoon out at the park or at the zoo or whatever becomes an unscheduled recreational crisis. If you just think about in advance what you want to do, how you want to do it, and what you need to divert the known failures. Oh no! That timer should not have gone off already. I thought I was testing this without the traps active. Okay. Well, Anyway, my point is that there's a lot of great opportunities to have fun if you make the time to do them right. But how is this? Okay, so this one is going off into here, even though we're at a point where, as far as I can tell, that timer shouldn't be active. Okay, this is part of programming called debugging. We are currently debugging the system. So there is currently no signal running through here into the timer. But somehow that one is still on. Now that particular line is linked to the redstone path that activates at 45 seconds, which means we need to go follow this 45-second lead. This one is trap number 4. We don't need to worry about that now. This one goes to trap junction 3 and 2. Trap junction 2 is the one that just fired and dropped us in to the lava there. So we know it's successfully terrifying, as we intended. This same block here that was causing us trouble, somehow this powered block is powering the stuff around us. We need to come back here with a single repeater, and we'll fix this. This is real simple to fix. Something causes that particular one to stay on. Now, even though I think that we're going to have all the redstone done today, we are not going to actually open this until we have the prize area and the actual lighting for this area set up, because I don't want people to ride the coaster and then not be able to cash in their tickets. That's just cruel. But we do have the lava and the redstone parts all clearly working, as you can tell. You know, probably the fastest way back there is just to take... let's not take the fastest way back with the minecart. Let's follow the path that we know is safe. There we go. And somewhere over here is that ladder well. Here it is. All these little emergency ladder wells also need covers on them. Okay, so in order to make this work, I think what we need to do is break this block here and replace it with that. Whoops. There. Now that should actively carry the correct signal at all times. So, let's continue our safety check of the entire coaster, while we continue to talk about avoiding unscheduled recreational crises. Anyway, if you're trying to plan a fun afternoon that's actually relaxing and restful for you and your kids, you go out of your way and you say, what are all the things my kid might need? And how can I make sure that we're not going to have everything go wrong? But can you do the same thing for yourself? Can you actively say, like, what do I need to be successful in the next week or month or year, you know? Like, what do I have to do to make sure that I don't find myself lacking something necessary, you know? Oh, perfect. So that causes you a little bit of damage there, but it still gets you on the right track. So as long as somebody doesn't show up here with, like, only a heart of health left, we should be okay there. And this is going to bring us here. Getting the lava in here is really just improving the overall mood. And there we go. Back to the start. Which, now that I'm looking at it, we probably actually do want to have some sort of block so you can get back out of the cart there. It's kind of funny that people just fall in the pit, though. It's unceremonious, but I don't know. I like it. You may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor EagleFam. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising. This one's one I'm particularly proud of from back in the day, entitled Hidden Lake. The parking lot for the Hidden Lake is a mile north of the interstate, just past the Veterans Cemetery. Wind a mile further or so past the map at the entrance that doesn't show the newest connecting trails, past the roofless cinder-block farmhouse with trees growing up through its dirty floor, up and o'er the concrete dance floor poured during Prohibition that overlooks the graveless lawns that hopefully field the outskirts of the cemetery, and beyond the empty train car that someone must have hauled up here as a joke, or on a dare, or as part of a scheme to conceal consumption of liquors untaxed and unlawful. And there is the Hidden Lake. Cut stone walls sheer up from a quarry missing a lake's worth of rock, and the muddy trail around invites enfoliaged visitors to appreciate it from each side. Is this a legacy? Things taken and took from nature, reclaimed and repurposed? Is this vacation pit more impressive than all the blocks that were taken from it and have since crumbled? There are no plaques riveted to the benches extollen, "Look upon my works, ye leisurely, and relax." Though the stapled paper at the trailhead warns in laminate, valuables must not be left in vehicles. The stewards of this place have seen things taken, and this place is open to the sky. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.